Hey guys, it's Mary from PsychicSoulmateReading.com. In this video, I will be giving us a 3-card tarot reading for our week, April 8th to April 15th. And the message is intended for you because you landed on this channel for some mysterious reason that the message is intended for you. And if it's after the date, you know what, that you're watching this, it doesn't matter because this reading is still intended for you because you're here. That's the way it always works. And if you're noticing some things are quite not resonating with you, don't worry, just visit back because some things have to unfold in your life and some things have to happen so the message can take effect. And also, you'll notice that even if the reading, like everything resonated with you now, visit back maybe a couple months later and you'll find out, you'll see there's more messages that are being told to you. So whatever's going on in that current situation later on, I always encourage clients to record their readings because it makes sense later. Like it made sense then when they got it, but then it really made sense later on. And you know, I never remember or I never recall anybody's reading. I throw it away after I do it. After I do someone's reading, I'm like, I don't remember. So you can't come back to me and say, Mary, what did you tell me? Remember when you said this and you said that? And I'm like, It's just, you know, it just flew off because if I keep everybody's reading, then I'm keeping everybody's data and stuff. And no, I don't remember a thing because I just don't. I never carry it. I remember I remember their faces. I remember people. Everybody that I've read, everybody I remember. I know it's weird, but I pretty much know. I remember, but I just don't remember the readings because we share something so intimate. That's the way readings that you let me read you. And you know what? It's a intimate energy that goes on when a reading is going on, like when you get a reading, because there's more to it than just, oh, like read my hand or, oh, read my cards. No, because you're opening yourself up and I'm opening myself up and it's like I'm reading the soul, so it's intertwining with each other, and I'm reading your soul. And so when I read the soul, I'm giving you your blueprint of what you need to know and what is for your highest good and what's there. And so sometimes people want to go against the current, but that's because, well, anyways, that's another story, and maybe that'll be another video. So grab yourself something to drink. If you're watching this early, grab yourself a coffee, tea. If it's in the evening, grab yourself a glass of wine, or my favorite, kombucha. I have my water here, and so let's get on with the reading, shall we? Okay, so I am reading with the Cosmic Tarot. Where's the box? Right here. Okay, so this is the Cosmic, oh, that's the back of it. This is the Cosmic Tarot. Yeah, you know what? These cards are so beautiful. I got these cards like years and years ago. Probably, I don't know, 95. I don't know. I can't remember, it was years ago. And they are so unique because they have movie stars on them. Anyways, that's not why I was just drawn to work with them today and for you. Okay, so I've already shuffled the cards and I've already picked the cards to save us on time. This is going to be a lengthy video, so sit back and enjoy the show. Take some notes. Grab a pen and paper. It's really important to take notes. Okay. So the first card that that came out was the Two of Swords, and as you can see, the Two of Swords, she's by herself, and it's kind of late. And what she's doing is she's kind of like pondering something. And she's looking at a pond, actually. She's trying to figure out what steps she wants to take next. Where does she go from here? She's kind of feeling like she's a bit at a crossroads. Like there's something that is going on in her life, and this is relating to something that's going on in your life, okay? And it's also the messages for me too, guys, because hey, you know, it's like we're all in this on this journey together, right? So there's a crossroads that's going on, and she has to make a choice on where she's going and where she's heading, because there's something that is here that she needs to make a choice. I always say, if you have to make a choice on something, don't choose it. You only do something if you really do it. Like, don't compromise your happiness for anything. And if you feel like you might be compromising, then don't take the risk. I mean, when I say don't take the risk, I mean, like, if it's something that you really don't want to do and you feel like, oh, I'm being pushed and I'm being pressured into it, or, you know, like whatever, it's not worth it, because what happens is that you end up hating it, And if you're thinking about starting something new, like starting a new business or something like that, you know what? Take the steps, take the action, but be accountable for it and write everything down. If it's something that you've been wanting to do for a really long time, like I said, plan it. If you plan it and write it down, I have to be honest, I'm not a really much of a planner. I mean, I am a planner when it comes to, I have it in my head. I know what I want. I write it down, just maybe one word that will help to ignite. But I like to just go with the flow. I like to be myself and just go with the flow and just whatever spirit's leading me into to going. Like these readings, I don't prescript them or anything like that. It's like I'm just being my complete 100% self. And I'm just reading by what I know, and I'm just sharing that. So it's kind of like just going with the flow. It's not about doing something by a script and by a book, because everybody's different and everybody's life is going to change. Like we're all going to change. Like things are going to change. Say for instance, if we're planning on doing something and we haven't started and we're procrastinating, well, that's a sure failure right there. You're not gonna move forward. Everything's just gonna fall backwards for you, really. Okay, my camera fell and I had to pick it up. That's why it's a different angle. So anyways, what I was saying, if I can remember, so like the Two of Swords, so something that you did plan, something I did plan, maybe that wasn't the actual plan, and it's going into a new direction. And so that is what it's telling you, that you have to start somewhere, because if you don't start anywhere, you're not going to get anywhere. And it's also sabotage and procrastination. So when it comes to business, it's basically telling you that if you're confused about what direction to go, well, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing exactly. You gotta plan for it, or you have to just look at, does it really give you joy? Does it really make you feel good? Is it something that you really want to do? You got to look at that. You got to look at the whole picture, because if you're not looking at it, then you're not really observing what is in your soul and what your soul wants to do. So it's telling you that something needs to be reevaluated. Something has to be looked at. Okay. I like to look at things in a different way, like than people. Like just to give you an example, I like to just, like I said, when I do things, I just allow spirit to take me, and it's always the right thing, because I allow my intuition to lead me. If I have to go left, I go left. If I have to go right, I go right. And if I'm held back and I'm overstressed, it ends up into some kind of a health issue. And I've gotten lots of little things, little quirks here, and this is bothering me. This is about touch wood. I'm not nothing this year except the vertigo that I had and just a little episodes of that. But I mean, like, injuries and things like that, because it's like the body holds on to the stress, and it lingers somewhere. And if you have a shoulder issue, or if you have a neck issue, or if you have a back issue, or a hip issue, or a foot issue, I've had them all. So it's kind of like there's a message that's being told to you, that's something that your body's telling you something, and you're holding on to your stress, and you need to take a breather of that and just look at, where are you really going? What do you really want to do with this? Where are you going? But you got to do something about it. But I would say to actually take some time out, and to just not so much of do I have to go here, or do I have to go there? You need to just connect with the spirit. You need to just connect with your heart, and your heart will lead you. That's what I meant that's my point. Okay. And if it's love that you're asking about, well, then when it comes to love, it's telling you you're confused. Like when it comes to a relationship, something that's been long gone, someone that's been so far away, that's, this person's moved on. This person is, moved on with someone else. It's time for you to really move on. And I get a lot of clients that have this, that issue, and it's hard for them to move on. Well, that's the steps that you got to take, because you're stopping yourself, preventing yourself from moving and bringing something new into your life. I always say, this is my message to everybody. If you're looking for love, make room for it in your closet for that person. And you've heard me say this forever, because when you make room and you visualize, okay, so I'm going to make room, because I'm going to make room for somebody in my closet. Like, it's just a thing in your mind. I like to have emptiness. Like, I like to have in my space for, I'm not, well, it's not for love, but for, it's just for life in general. I like to have a little bit of space, because that just gives room for things to grow and for things to come into my life. I hate clutter. And yeah, I said I didn't like it, but I still get it, just like everybody else. And you know, like, that's another story. So, like I was saying about love, and if you're feeling, you want to ask that person out, or tell that person how you're feeling. Like, say maybe it's someone that you are drawn to, and you have been seeing this person for a little while, and you know, wherever. I'm not going to say, oh, I've seen this person at the coffee shop, or this person, you know, is doing this, and you see that person. No, I'm just, you know, approach that person and talk to that person and just open up, you know. You don't have to come on strong. You just be yourself. That's the best way. When you're yourself, when you are you, you can, you know what? You don't have to pretend to be anything you're not. And when you are, you actually are, you will find that right person when you're completely, totally honest about yourself and who you are, you know. And, you know, and if you're finding that that's a challenge, well, then you got to do some things that kind of like, different, like scare yourself a little bit, because if you don't take that first step, then you know you're gonna regret it. You'll think back, why did I do that? And you would have those feelings like, why didn't I approach him? Why didn't I approach her? Why didn't I do that? You know, you'll feel that, and you know, like just go with the flow. Like, listen and connect to your spirit, connect to your soul, and just, what is it telling you? You know, best way to get advice is from yourself, is to be quiet and listen. And if your mind starts going, then you gotta just, you know what? The best time I like to get messages, is one of my best times, is after I meditate, or probably in the middle of the night. I usually get a lot of messages from my soul in the middle of the night. It's kind of like I wake myself up to go to the bathroom, and just like, oh, okay, what am I hearing? You know, I purposely, because your body has already been relaxing, and just, you're already asleep, like you were sleeping. You know, that's the best time to meditate, is I always say in the morning, as soon as you wake up, because your body's already been resting. And you know, it's like listening to what, you know, you're getting, the messages that you're getting from your soul and from your spirit and from the divine, and you know, whatever you want to call it, God, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just, you're getting it from what you really need. Okay. And that's the best medicine to actually, to help yourself, you know, with the stress that you're having. Because if you find your mind just like chattering and going all over the place, it's time to get quiet, guys. Come on. It's like, yeah, the more you keep talking, and you know, like in your mind, like, our minds are like you know, they're insane. If your mind, but we have to quiet our mind. And sometimes, you know, like when you see those people that talk to themselves, or you know, like, that's, their mind is actually going. And I know a lot of people that do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I probably do it myself too when I'm not thinking about it. But it's like, when we do that, it's like our minds are overactive. So it's telling you to get quiet. The swords are mental, and it's a mental state, and it's swords are air, so it's intellectual. So that's what air is all about. And in the suit of the tarot cards. And the second card, sorry, is the Four of Pentacles. And this looks like the Godfather. At first I thought it was Casablanca. No, but that would be the Two of Cups. These cards are all movie stars. They're pretty unique. I love these cards. And the Four of Pentacles is telling us that you have been neglecting yourself. You have been letting something control you. You have been, it's a Capricorn influence, and Capricorns are they're the executives of the zodiac. They are the leaders. They are the CEOs. They are the ones that are the leaders in business. It's a cardinal sign, Capricorn, and they're really good with, they climb the step ladder for success. They start really low and they just go all the way up. But they are, to have a boss that is a Capricorn can be a bit of a bossy kind of thing. They are a bit bossy, yes. And they're hard on it. Not so much bossy. I should take that back, because I know Capricorns are the most loving people there. So I love Capricorns. And I know some beautiful people. My aunt was a Capricorn, and you know, I loved her dearly. I learned a lot from her. A couple aunts I have, great aunts too. And I learned so much from Caps, and they're beautiful, beautiful people. And with saying that, they can be really hard on themselves. They work themselves to the bone. Like they really kill themselves with housework. They kill themselves with their work. I'm just giving you an example of what they do, and they're really and the people around them can feel it, you know. And sometimes you know, like even if you have an influence of Capricorn, say I have a Capricorn Mars. My Mars is Capricorn. Mars is the planet of your drive and your passion and your work and everything. And yeah, I can be a workaholic. It's like, you know, like I can have that tendency. And actually I do. I'm grateful to have Dave into my life because he reminds me of this stuff. Actually, I'm telling you, I'm actually giving it, well, that's messages for myself. And we're all in this together. Like I say, we're all in this together. We're all in this journey together, right? Okay, so back to this. The Four of Pentacles is telling you got to be a little bit more lighter on your load and not be so hard on yourself. And this is with your health. If you're struggling with health issues or like weight issues, don't be so hard on yourself. And if you're like, it's because I know spring is around the corner. It's tank top season. You know, I still got my long sleeves. If you're watching this and if you're in this part of the world, we just came into spring. And, you know, when we're in spring, everybody's like, oh, I got to get to the gym. Oh, well, what about January? You still have to do that too. I always say that, well, what about, it takes 6 months. It's not, you know, within a couple months. You got to do it beforehand, right? And yeah, so like I used to teach, well, I teach Zumba. So anyways, like I hear it, I've heard it all. It's like, gotta get to yourself and really hard on themselves. And then they just say mean things about themselves. So you gotta be a little bit less. Would you treat yourself like that? It's not good to treat yourself that way. You know, it's kind of like, I heard Christiane Northrup say this the other day, and I thought this was really, really intelligent the way she said it, because it makes so much sense. When you're hard on yourself and you don't take care of yourself, well, not only you can't, if you burn out, okay, that's one thing, of course, yeah, and you're no good for anybody, right? You're no good for anybody if you burn out or you get sick and, you know, heard it all, and I've been there. So, my point is that when we don't take, what she said, would you treat your 2-year-old the way you treat yourself? I know, like I wouldn't treat my 2-year-old. I had boys, and they were, you know, I wouldn't treat my 2-year-old that way. So it's like, you know, treat yourself like you would treat your 2-year-old. You know, make sure your 2-year-old is hydrated, fed, nourished, loved, you know, just taking care of them, making sure that they sleep, making sure they take their naps, and you know, all of the above, and just nurturing and caring for your child. Treat yourself that way. Don't be hard on yourself. And I know I say that all the time, but you know, and another thing she said too, I'm just repeating her words, is that, and if you feel guilty because that you're doing things for yourself, you know, like because, you know, it's important. Like if you do something for yourself and then you feel guilty about it afterwards, then she said, congratulations, good job. That's what she was talking about, because that's taking care of yourself. And that's what you need to do. You need to take care of yourself. And that is very important. That's what that reminds me of when I see that. And let go. And so that's telling you there, okay? And then we got the star, which is inspiration. You see the flamenco, and you see the beautiful star up there, and the beautiful sky, and the water is so, so mesmerizing. It's very beautiful. I'm not quite sure what movie that was from. Looks like from a 1920s movie. I don't know. I don't know all of my movie stars. I was a big fan of the old movies, but we're talking like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Like I love the movies from back then. But this, I'm not sure. What I'm seeing is, well, anyways, what the card means. The star is inspiration and hope and dreams. And you need to let go of things, and you need to put the energy into yourself and shine. The star is shining. You know, don't be modest. You got something to show the world. You got something to give. Offer it. You know, if you feel a little bit shy and a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I could. Well, you know, Spirit is telling you that you need to come out of that closet and just shine and be yourself, you know, because you're holding something back. You're holding yourself back. You know, if maybe a lot of us feel, well, I'm not good enough. I've heard you say that. Well, Mary, what if I'm not good enough? How do you know if you don't try? You know, there's no such, like I said in my last video, perfection, throw that out. It's not to say you want to make sure and make it the best as you can do, as you can be, but don't try to be so perfect, because that's ruining it all. So it's telling you to just shine, and that means just to get yourself out there, you know. And if you've been hibernating for a while, well, you got to get out. You gotta stop that. You gotta do some things different in your life. You gotta try different things. That's what the star is telling you. You need to try different things and move forward, because the more you hold yourself back on this, the more you're going to keep your, sorry, Dave's doing a lesson and I left my door open. Let me just close it. Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't find my microphone. Not microphone, but okay, I have to say one thing. I feel a little bit, you know, betrayed by Apple because I just got a new phone, and you know, it's not that little, you know, the little pingy thingy for my microphone. It's a different kind of, it's the lightning, you know, the lightning. I'm sure you guys got iPhones. Anyways, I have to get like a converter, and I couldn't find it for my microphone. Anyway, so I'm just doing this straight off my phone. So I apologize if the sound quality is not as good as it could be, but maybe next time it will be. So anyways, I just want to say that the star is telling you that you just need to get yourself out there and doing different things, trying different things. Stop dwelling into the past. And that is, you need to look forward. You need to look into, you need to go with the flow. There's lots of water here. You need to just play. I'm not saying to go skinny dipping, because that is what she's doing. But not to do that. I'm not saying it, but to be adventurous and just do some things differently. Because if you don't, how do you know you don't like it if you don't try it? So it's important that you take that step. And the flamenco is really catching my eye, and it's pink. And the flamenco is, well, pink is the heart chakra. Oh, I'm wearing pink today. Well, kind of like a reddish pink, but it's still the heart chakra. So it's telling you that you need to open up your heart a little bit more. You need to be a little bit less scared. I know to say that is, don't be afraid, because you'll be more afraid. But I'm telling you right now to let go and to just be free, okay? And do whatever you got to do to make that happen, right? I work with stones to help me, because I have to say, when I do these videos, it is challenging for me, okay, because it's challenging, because it takes me a little while to get things going, to get it started. Say for instance, when I first open up the camera, I feel really stuck. It's kind of like, you know, camera shy. I don't know, I can't explain it. And I know you think you're not camera shy, because now I'm okay, I'm in the flow. But it takes me, I do maybe about 15 takes. And before that, and I've been doing this for 4 years. And before that, when I was on YouTube, oh, that must have been about an hour before, just to get it going. And I'm thinking, I used to say to myself, why, Spirit, do I need to do this? Why? Because he said, you need to. And this is, you need to shine. You need to get out there. You need to put yourself out there. You need to exercise this. This is something that needs to be done. And I'm all about exercise. And, you know, like I said, I'm talking to a phone, but I know that there is somebody listening, and I'm helping somebody. So that opens up my heart, and I just feel so free with that. It's kind of like, you know, just getting into the pool. Actually, that's just like her. You know, the pool is kind of cold. Think about when you're going into the pool or the lake or wherever you go, you know, the ocean, even nicer. It's cold, but once you get in there, it's like, okay, I'm here. You know, because it's shifting gear. It's like driving. It's like shifting gears. If you drive standard, it's like you're going in from one gear to the next. And you know, you need to do that. You need to switch. You need to switch those things. You need to switch gears, because it's time. Because it's just the ego. That's all it is. It's the ego, and it's the mind. And you know, that's not who we really are. You know, even though you see me as a body and a person here talking to you, it's a spirit that's coming out, and I know I'm talking to your spirit and whatever. It's like we're all in this together. We're all in this beautiful dimension together, right? And it's amazing. So that's how it works. Okay, so that's the message. Okay, I hope that this reading was helpful for you. And if you're interested in getting a longer reading with me, please go to my website, psychicsoulmatereading.com, and you can book your time slot right there when you book your reading. I have a thing that all you have to do is go on there, find what time works for you. My availability is on there. If you're all the way in a different time zone, it's okay, because it'll correspond to my time zone. It'll calculate it automatically. All you have to do is just enter your information, and that's it to sign up, to get a reading. And if you see a time slot that is not there and you're like all the way in Australia and you need a morning, or you need well, I don't go too late. I don't like to read too late because I'm not fresh. I like to do it more in the morning, or earlier. So if you need another time slot for another day, sometimes I just book off times when I'm just like, I need to just do whatever, catch up, but I can always change and rearrange my schedule. But you have to visit my website and message me, and then to confirm it, you just all you do is just get the reading, confirm the reading, purchase the reading, and then of your choice, and it's all booked. Yeah, and we can do this. We can do Skype, we can do FaceTime, I can do WhatsApp, I can do even phone readings, and yeah, that's all you need. And we can even do it on Instagram too, because Instagram has a like the camera feature too. I do that too. Yeah. So you know what? Make it really easy. You gotta love technology, how it works, because we can just be, like I said, miles away, and I'm right here. It's beautiful, beautiful. I just love it. I'm just ecstatic about that. But anyways, I want to wish you peace and blessings until the next video. Namaste.